Let me ask you a question. If you were only going to use one method to get more business in, what would it be? Would you maybe hire a PR company to write some articles about you in the trade magazines or the local press? I mean, these things can definitely work. They can, of course, be pretty expensive and also take a long time to become a sale. So something much quicker could be cold calling, where you ring people up, look through the yellow pages and ring strangers. Again, it can be quick, but of course you can get the phone slammed down on you. It sometimes isn't very pleasant. So instead, why don't we do something like send brochures out to everybody? Some really glossy brochures, very impressive, a nice, comfortable, weighty feel when the customer pick it up. However, of course, as you know, a brochure on its own probably isn't likely to lead to a sale. So any technique we use, although it has benefits, has problems as well. What about referrals? My definition of a referral is this. It's a personal recommendation from somebody who you currently know to somebody who they know, such that the person who they know is looking forward to receiving your call and they're expecting your call from a business point of view. When I say this to people, very often people say, yeah, referrals every time. They're quick, they're easy, they don't take very long. There are less objections when I get to the customer because my referrer has got rid of most of them. Referrals win every time, but there's a problem with them. And I always say, what's that? And they always say, people don't refer me enough. Even my customers who know I've done a fantastic job don't refer me enough. But you see, one of the problems with this is if you like referrals, but you're waiting for people to refer you, actually what you're doing is you're delegating the speed of growth of your company to someone else. And that can't be a good thing. So surely, wouldn't the best way to grow your business be to get more referrals, but for you to proactively make sure it happens? I'm going to share with you in this podcast 2 different things you can do to increase the number of referrals you get. The first one is a lesson I learned a long time ago, and it stays with me to this day. When I started my business, I decided that I wanted to meet a very prominent local radio presenter in Liverpool, in the UK. So what I did was I rung round and I tried to get in front of this guy, and it took me ages and I couldn't do it. There was a lady who was doing some PR for me at the time, a lady called Jane. She had a lot of connections in the media, and eventually we got through to this guy. So I was really looking forward to meeting him, and I was having Sunday lunch with my parents, and I was saying, oh, tomorrow, as in Monday, I'm seeing this guy, and I'm really looking forward to it. To which my mum said, oh, I know him. And she said, yeah, we work on a charity committee together, and he gives me a lift every week. And then just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, my father said to me, oh, I know him as well, we've played golf. And I said, why didn't you tell me about it? And what do you think they said? Because you never asked. The number one rule to get more referrals in is to ask for them. Yeah? Ask people who like you, who know you, who trust you, or who know you'll do a good job. Hey, ask them very, very simply. Now, there's all sorts of ways you can ask them. I'm going to share with you in a couple of minutes the best techniques you can do for asking them. But I said I was going to tell you 2 tips in this podcast. The first one is to ask for them. The second one, the easiest way to show you this is to play a little game with you. I'd like you to pretend, please, that I want to buy a DVD for somebody who I love very much. I'd like you to think of a DVD you'd recommend for me. Any DVD at all. What would you recommend I buy? Have you got a DVD in your mind? All right, now let me give you a bit of information about this person. I'd now like you to know that this person is female. So the DVD you've got, would that still be appropriate, or do you need to change it? Let me tell you a bit more about this female I'm buying the DVD for. She's 9 years old. Again, do you want to change the DVD? I'll tell you more. She's my daughter, Megan, and Megan really likes animals. So I'm looking for a DVD about animals, I guess. Let me give you even more information. She really likes DVDs about dogs, live action animals. So Lassie, I would guess, would be her favourite DVD, and she hasn't got it yet. So what DVD would you recommend now? Lassie, I guess. It's strange, you know, because I said to start with I want you to recommend any DVD, so I gave you a big variety of DVDs you could choose. But I bet the one you chose to start with wasn't as helpful for Megan as if I'd said, can you recommend Lassie? And that's the second hint I can give you with referrals. The more specific you are, the easier it is for the other person. So even though you wanted to recommend a DVD to me, when I said the word any, you recommended something that wasn't appropriate. When I said I want Lassie, then obviously you need to recommend Lassie. So if you ask for referrals in the right way, and when you do, be specific who you want. Say the person, if you know, the ideal thing is you want to speak to Mr. X in company Y. All right, but if you don't know Mr. X and company Y, at least say the professions. So there we go. Ask for referrals, and when you do, make sure you're specific about the person or the industry or the company you want referrals into. Now, that on its own isn't enough, but it's a good start. If you were to do that and nothing else, you would find your referrals go up. A simple way to make sure you ask is when you finish working with a particular client, say, thanks very much for giving us the business. I don't know if you know this, but most people don't even thank clients. So if you finish working with the clients on Tuesday, ring them on the Wednesday and thank them. Most people don't do that. Secondly, were you happy with the work that we did? And if they say yes, say great. Do you know anyone else who might also benefit from what we do? I particularly do a lot of good work with people in the property sector in my city. Now, when you do that, you find you're much more likely to get referrals. But that's not all of it. Of course, there's a lot more to it. Like, is it just customers you should ask? What are the proven phrases to use? How can you follow up on referrals so they work? How can you make the referrer think, I'm really glad I recommended them and I want to do it again? All these things and more are covered in my book, The Jelly Effect. The Jelly Effect shows you how to communicate in ways that are proven to grow your business. One of my clients is the world's largest referral organisation, an organisation called BNI, and I train their directors the world over how to teach others how to get more referrals. The Jelly Effect is full of information on how to do that, from being specific to making sure that you ask for the right thing, to making sure you ask for them in the first place. I'm really proud of the amount of business I've helped my clients get by showing them how to get more referrals, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you.